Sisters and brothers, those who serve with me as colleagues providing spiritual leadership to men and women and children all across the state of Georgia, thank you so much for taking just a few moments out of your very busy schedules to hear this message. We are at a critical moment in the state of Georgia. Some of you may be aware that there is a movement afoot called Moral Mondays. It began in the state of North Carolina, but has now made its way to Georgia. And we are focused, particularly in recent days, on the issue of Medicaid expansion. You may have seen some of my advocacy on this issue along with many others as we were arrested just a couple of weeks ago, saying to the state of Georgia, to its legislature, and to our governor that we must expand Medicaid. We must expand Medicaid now.
Inside the Senate chambers and outside the doors, dozens of people erupted in cheers, chants, and sat down on the floor. Some were arrested this morning, and even more late this afternoon during coordinated protests. The man in the middle of this crowd getting arrested is the Reverend for Ebenezer Baptist Church, Reverend Raphael Warnock.
So we've made this statement. We've come to his office because in a real sense, we feel that this is more serious than simply refusing to accept the expansion.
Warnock made statements to the media about why Georgia needs to expand Medicaid. He says that 600,000 Georgians are not covered by the Affordable Care Act and aren't poor enough to receive Medicaid in the state.
The pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta today was one of roughly 40 people who were arrested at the Georgia state capitol.
The federal government has provided for Georgia a way out. Georgia right now ranks as having the 5th highest number of uninsured individuals in the entire United States of America. Our rural hospitals are closing. Working people do not have access to health care. Many of them are not quite poor enough to get Medicaid as it is currently organized. And yet they do not have the money really to afford a health care plan. And so under the Affordable Care Act, the federal government has said to the state of Georgia, we will expand Medicaid and we will cover 100% of the cost. That's right, you heard me correctly. The federal government will pay 100% of the cost, and then over the next few short years, will gradually scale back to covering 90% of the cost. And yet our governor and many of those in the legislature are saying we cannot afford to expand Medicaid. Our argument is that we cannot afford not to expand Medicaid. Not while we have the 5th highest number of uninsured individuals of any state in the union. Not while there are over 600,000 Georgians who would be covered if we would simply say yes to this provision already made available by the federal government. And so we've already paid for this in our federal taxes. And the polling reveals that most Georgians, even those who do not support the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, support Medicaid expansion, and yet our governor and others are saying no. And so this Monday, I wish that you would do 3 things for us. Number 1, if you can, meet us this Monday, April 7th at 5 p.m. for a march at the governor's mansion. It is, after all, the people's house. And we must send a very clear message that the people would like for us to expand Medicaid. Number 2, if you cannot be with us, certainly you can pray for us. And number 3, you will see that there is an online petition attached to this message. We could really have a powerful movement in the state of Georgia if clergy all across this state would just stand up on Sunday morning and say to your members that we need you to simply sign this petition. Many of you may do what we have already done here at Ebenezer Church. That is, place the online petition on your website, on your Facebook page, on your Twitter feed, on all of your platforms. Imagine if the bishops, the pastors, the priests, the imams, the rabbis, all of the faith leaders of our state of good conscience and commitment would just stand up for the people in our own pews. There's a strong moral argument to be made, but also let me hasten to say that there is an economic argument to be made for the expansion of Medicaid in the state of Georgia. The federal government is covering 100% of the costs for the first few years. And for that investment, for the decision to stop playing politics with people's health care, it is estimated that not only will we cover those who are sick, we will stimulate our economy, generate about $65 billion of new economic activity in the state of Georgia, and create and support about 56,000 new jobs. $65 billion of new economic activity, 56,000 new jobs, and yet the legislature, and so far our governor, like governors of the past, is standing in the doorway saying no. We cannot be silent because silence is betrayal. Join us at the Governor's Mansion this Monday at 5 p.m. as we lift the voices of the people. Pray for us even if you cannot come. But third, please, ma'am, please, sir, take the petition that is attached to this message, put it on your church website, put it on your Facebook page, put it on your Twitter feeds. It's a very easy petition to sign. Tell your parishioners come Sunday that we are a faith community and that we come bringing news, good news, on behalf of the God who came that we might have life and that more abundantly. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this message. I look forward to working with you in the days ahead. Together, we can win.